I'm Wendy Gillette with Small Cap Nation, joining you today from the NASDAQ market site here in Times Square. And we're talking today to Robert Maltby, who is the president and CEO of Singular Research. So first, tell me what Singular Research is.
Sure, Wendy. We focus on small caps and micro caps that lack significant research coverage. We incepted about 12 years ago, basically out of the old days, the settlement with the research corruption, where they were definitely shown to be buy as a research product, basically advertising banking deals. We don't do any banking, we don't do any trading. We're just old-fashioned, straight up, bottoms up stock pickers, looking for companies that are misunderstood, not understood, and definitely underfollowed.
And why are small caps a good deal for investors?
Oh, well, first off, if they are undercovered by Wall Street research, history and research has shown that they're underpriced. So if you have a company that has research coverage and a similar company that doesn't, usually it's about a 25 to 30% difference with the company that lacks research at a discount. So it's a deal.
And you have a positive track record over the past 12 years. Tell me about your percentages.
Well, yeah, we do. We combined the opportunity of there's probably about 2,000 companies in our universe and that lack meaningful coverage. And our goal is really to define and identify the top 1% to 2%, which every year amounts to about 40 or 50 companies that we focus on. So we combine that type of a focus, companies that are mispriced, undervalued, with some pretty smart analysts. Our analysts, I call them the gang of old grumpies. They're very seasoned, they've been around, usually at a boutique, regional boutique, and they were kind of harnessed by a banking mandate. I've got to do this coverage for a banking deal. And they just love working with us because they're free and they can work at home.
And grumpies make good decisions.
They're discerning, grumpy.
And how many employees do you have?
We have 10 plus myself, so we're a company of 11, like a football team.
All right.
Right.
Good football team.
Yeah.
So Trump coming into office in January, what do you think that's going to do for small caps and your company?
Yeah, well, by association, we should be fairly correlated with the small cap market, and Trump should be very positive for small caps. His platform is domestic over foreign. 80% of the revenue of the company that we follow is produced here in the U.S., so that's very good. His platform is also to cut taxes, which small cap companies haven't benefited from these fancy yield tax inversion deals overseas, so they haven't benefited. Now they will, and that should really help their earnings. And also, he's going to cut regulations, which, the small companies, it's a big cost for them. The big companies, not so much. So really, really looking, and plus if you look at valuations right now, we say we've been in kind of a tough environment, maybe a stealth bear market for a while, like 3 years. And meanwhile, valuations for small caps are pretty attractive. The average small cap stock trades at about the same PE ratio as a big cap, and it usually offers more growth. So it's at the lower end of its historical valuation range. So we think that looks good.
So what do you project for 2017?
Good stuff. We think, particularly in the first quarter, people are getting excited. The animal spirits are reemerging, and if you look at what's occurred here since the election, small caps are up 10%, 11%, and the S&P's up maybe 3%. So you can see it starting to happen here. We think there's a lot of room. We're just kind of in the early phase of this.
And you do have competition. So how are you, I know you don't like to talk about the competition, but how are you different from the competition?
Well, we discern our coverage by actual alpha, what we call alpha. We look for opportunities that can provide excess return, and there's no other screen. There's no like, well, can they do some banking with us? The issue with research, particularly after the settlement, is how do you monetize it? How do you pay for it? And so our business model is subscription-based, meaning we've got over 110 institutional clients with about $60 billion in assets. They're our user, subscriber. We don't need the company. We don't need the company. Rather, we don't do banking. So we're not going, listen, are you going to do a banking deal? Then we'll cover you. Well, a little bit, to the quid pro quo side of things. So we try to stay unbiased, unconflicted, performance-based.
All right, well, looking forward to a good 2017. Thanks,
Yes,
Robert,
indeed.
for joining us.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching. For more, you can go to smallcapnation.com. I'm Wendy Gillette with Small Cap Nation.